National Emergency Management Authority of the Ministry of Defense and the IDF are announcing the implementation of a plan to evacuate residents of northern Israel who live in the area up to 2 kilometers from the Lebanese border to state-funded guest houses. The implementation of the plan was approved by Minister of Defense Yoav Gallant a short while ago. The Northern Command updated the heads of the local authorities on the decision. The plan will be implemented by the heads of the local municipalities, the Ministry of Interior and the National Emergency Management Authority of the Ministry of Defense.
To attack Israel, including in Nir Am, Nachal Oz, and near Kisufim. I can confirm that in each of the engagements, every time a terrorist meets an IDF soldier, the terrorist is killed. We are continuing to press for an evacuation from the north of Gaza Strip towards the south. On the day 4 of since our calling, we have seen several hundreds of thousands of people listening to our efforts, calling people to move south in order to evacuate the area and enable us to differentiate between Hamas terrorists and non-combatants. And indeed, it is part of our humanitarian efforts as a temporary measure to remove people from harm's way while we deal with Hamas. And that is contrary to what Hamas does, as they operate and in order to maximize civilian casualty of Palestinians themselves. Over the last few days, we've seen extreme efforts of Hamas to try and prevent evacuation of people, including physical barriers, what appears to be explosive devices on the roads. And indeed, they are challenging people's will to live, the Palestinians' will to live in Gaza, by preventing them from moving. We are taking all of the steps necessary in order to encourage the people to move south. We know that the situation is of concern, and absolutely the IDF, as a professional military, works within the realm of the laws of armed conflict. We do not target intentionally or seek to target or harm civilians, unlike Hamas. And indeed, the military is operating in order to achieve its goal in destroying Hamas's capability. The ground forces are currently several hundred thousand, some 300,000 reservists have been called up for military service in the reserve. A vast majority of those have been positioned on the border with Gaza in anticipation for an instruction by the government to mobilize into Gaza and to take control of the hub of terrorism, the fortress that Hamas has established in Gaza City, and in order to prevent them from ever being able to attack us again. And the 300,000 also includes forces that we've positioned in the north along the frontier with Lebanon in anticipation with the situation with Hezbollah. And as we see, we've had several attacks by Hezbollah across the border in the north with several anti-tank guided missiles fired at our forces. And I would like to say that the way we anticipate, the way we see is Hezbollah is currently trying to increase pressure at the will of Iran in order to undermine the efforts to destroy Hamas's capability in the Gaza Strip, and they're doing it in a way to escalate the situation on the border in order to challenge Israel and the IDF. We are continually watching the situation and evaluating the situation after all of the developments, and together with our allies, the United States, coordinating in order to ensure that the security and interests of the State of Israel are maintained. Lebanon, the state of Lebanon, is the sovereign of the country. Every incident that happens in its country is under the full responsibility of the state of Lebanon, and they will be held responsible for it. In one of the incidents yesterday, I can say that near Shatula, a civilian was killed and 3 others were injured. And I can confirm that also an IDF officer was also killed in a Hezbollah attack on the border yesterday. We have, perhaps I would say this finally, the IDF is a strong military. We are prepared. We have a lot of forces, motivation in order to secure the state of Israel. Our responsibility is to ensure that the state of Israel is safe and secure, and we will expand our military operations against Hamas to destroy the genocidal regime of Hamas and never let them attack us again as they did on the 7th of October. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. And just I will attend to some of the questions that are on the group chat. This is an on-the-record press conference, so you can quote anything me or any of the other participants is saying, and there will be time for questions afterwards. I don't think that we'll have time with Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner because his time limit, I'm not sure will allow it. We will continue. I'll just explain a little bit what we'll have in the next few minutes. So we will talk to two of the family members of the victims and the abducted Israelis that from the terror attack on the October 7th. And then I'll say a few words from the Israeli MFA, and we'll open the floor for a Q&A. We will start with the first family member, Renana Gomez. Renana, are you with us?
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.